So then the journey is now commencing on the service 202 from Halesowen to Bromsgrove, and this service is going to go from Halesowen up to Mucklow Hill. After Mucklow Hill it will then go through into Quinton. After Quinton it will turn off towards the Lappel area in the boundaries near to Wheely Castle. Then after that it's going to then go through into Woodgate. Then after Woodgate it's going to turn off down towards Bartley Green, and then over the Ravenhays, which goes on to Egg Hill Lane, and then comes into Frankley on the South Birmingham border, through Frankley, then on to Rubery, and then after Rubery the service will then go up towards Cofton, Hackett, and then after Cofton, Hackett over the Lickey Hills, and then arriving into Bromsgrove. The journey takes an hour, and arrival time into Bromsgrove should be after 1:15 in the afternoon. And the bus we're travelling on is an Optare Solo SR, which used to be seen on the 226 Merry-Hill to Dudley and was branded for the route, and it has also got the new diamond livery on. However, the similar bus, which does the 292 Kidderminster to Ludlow, is still in the original diamond livery. So here we go then, guys. So then here we are, just coming out of Halesowen now, and we're just heading towards Shenstone Island, from where we're going to climb up Mucklow Hill towards Quinton. And the 202 isn't the only service that goes up Mucklow Hill. You've got the X10, which is the Birmingham from Gornalwood and Merry-Hill, 19 the Kiwi Hospital service from Dudley, and the 231 the Blackheath service that starts in Halesowen but turns off to serve the Olive Lane estate, while the X10 continues from Quinton towards the Hagley Road and into Birmingham. The 19 continues into Quinton and then heads off towards Ridge Acre. So then we have just now crossed the Shenstone Island, and we're now climbing up Mucklow Hill towards Quinton. So as you know, there's two specialist stores on Mucklow Hill, Wix, which used to be known as Focus and Do It All, and of course B&Q. B&Q is one of the biggest stores to be seen in Halesowen, right on the top of Mucklow Hill, and as you know, there used to be other B&Q stores in the Black Country with the likes of Merry-Hill and Stourbridge, and I assume there was one in Quinton before it moved to the current site on Mucklow Hill. So here we are, just climbing to the top end of Mucklow Hill, and now we're going to continue further up and into Quinton, which is located beside Hurst Green. So nearby is Halesowen Golf Club, unless that was just a board that was advertising it. So here we go, up to the top of the hill now, on the 202 service towards Bromsgrove. So we shall be at the top any time now. And as you can probably tell, I was wearing a face covering because, as you know, because of this coronavirus pandemic, what has been going on since 2020. And of course in 2020 the 202 got suspended and was replaced by a 44 service, but however the 44 did not cover the 202 route. Instead it went Halesowen, then to Woodgate Valley South, then on to California just outside Wheelie Castle, then on to Northfield, then on to most of the 202 route at Frankley, and then turned off, then on to Rubery Great Park by the Hollywood Bowl and of course the Morrison supermarket, and then followed the 144 route into Bromsgrove and going via Lydiate Ash and then through Catsill and Sidemore as well. So then here we are now at the top end of Mucklow Hill, and we're in Hurst Green, and we're now joining up with the X8 service from Wolverhampton to Birmingham, which has come from Blackheath. So we're alongside the X8 until we turn off near Quinton Church, and then when we get to Quinton Church we will then be joining up with the 9 as far as the turn off point, as far as the Harley Grange, and then we'll follow the 002 towards Bartley Green, Woodgate, and then we will go through the remainder of Bartley Green and then up into Frankley via the Ravenhays Lane, which goes on to the Egg Hill Lane. So here we go, just now heading towards the turn off point towards Quinton Church. And like I say, I didn't do an actual version of the 44 which this route replaced, and the 44 replaced this route because of the COVID-19 restrictions, but I am going to do a rediscovery of the route, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be very, very exciting when I do that route itself. So we're just about to turn off for Quinton Church. So Quinton Church shouldn't be far away now. So here we are coming towards Quinton Church, and we'll be joining up with the 9 as far as the Harley Grange, and then we'll go alongside the 002 through the Lappel area and then into Woodgate, going over the M5 motorway. Then once we've gone through the Woodgate, we're then going to head over to Bartley Green, up the Ravenhays, onto the Egg Hill Lane and up into Frankley, through the Frankley area, then over Rubery area, well through Rubery, and then we'll then head along towards Cofton Hackett and over the Licky Hills, and then going down towards the M42 and then arriving into Bromsgrove. Now, as you say, the 202 is one of my favourite routes, beside the 891, the Wolverhampton to Telford service. So here we are, just coming down towards the Harley Grange area, and then we'll be turning off to serve with the 002 route, which will be coming up. So as you know, the 002 runs from Maryhill to Wheelie Castle, and it's also operated by Diamond. When the 202 got suspended, the 002 was the only Diamond service that went across the Harley Grange, because the 44 went a different route, so it missed a lot of sections of the 202 route. But however, it's good that the 202 is back now. Now, usually the 202 is operated by Wright Street Lights and occasionally an Enviro 200, but however on this occasion you've got an Optare Solo SR, which is really interesting, with a Cummins engine as well. So this is a Cummins Solo. So anyway, here we are coming along Harley Grange area, and we will soon be heading along towards Woodgate. So Woodgate will be coming up shortly. So here we go, and I just hope you enjoy the video. Rediscovered video that will come very soon, but most of it is having to be done virtually. So anyway, we're now crossing one of the busy roads here, dual carriageway that leads up to the M5, and we're just about to cross the M5 motorway itself. So here we go. Just now coming towards Bartley Green. So we're now coming to the Bartley Green area and Woodgate as well. So then we have now moved seats, and we're now going to get a different point of view. So anyway, we're nearly entering the Woodgate area, just close to Bartley Green, and the 44 actually didn't cover this section. He actually crossed over at the island previously before we head to the next island, which is up ahead. So anyway, we're now in the Woodgate area on part of Bartley Green over Kitwell as well, and there's other nearby estates as well, like Allen's Cross, which is nearby, and of course the Frog Mill, and we'll be heading towards the Frog Mill anytime soon, and those areas come under Franklin. So here we are on our way now towards the Bartley Green area, so we'll nearly be arriving into Bartley Green, and then we'll proceed into Franklin, and then over the Eggill Lane, and then after Eggill Lane we'll go through Ollie Hill, and then over into Rubery, then over to the Cofton Hackett area, and then goes over Lickey, and then arrive up into Bromsgrove. And we will be due into Bromsgrove for like 1:15, just after 1:15 in the afternoon, if I incorrected it. Well, usually it comes in at 1:20. So here we are now in Kitwell, and we're not far away from the Franklin area, so we will soon be arriving
there's a brandy E400
to Franklin.
For the service X20, X21,
So there's
X22, which goes on
Enviro 400 MMC Platinum,
Lumen University, which is
branded for the X20, X21 and X22.
in Bartley Green now.
So here we are, just over in
23,
Bartley Green nearly, so we're nearly coming towards the Bartley Green area. And then after Bartley Green, the service is then going to go over Egg Hill Lane, which is one of my favourite locations on the 202 route. To be honest, when the 202 was withdrawn and replaced by a 44, it just didn't feel the same without Egg Hill Lane, but however, with Egg Hill Lane now back on the map, it's a lot better now. So the 202 is finally back in service, back to its original route, back to pre-COVID, and also I'm glad that the service has been reinstated. When I heard it in 2020 that the 202 was going to be reinstated, and it was just phenomenal, really. So then here we are now, just over the Bartley Green area, and we will soon be heading into Franklin. So we're not far away from Franklin now, and we should be getting into Franklin anytime soon. And once we've reached Franklin, which is close to Egg Hill Lane, that would be the best bit of all time. So here we are, over the near the Scotland Line area now, and we will soon be heading up the Egg Hill Lane and then on towards Franklin and then on to Rubery. And nearby is of course Newman University, which is served by the 002 route.
As you probably might know, there's a road blocked off ahead. But however, that is not the route that the 202 actually takes. It actually then goes further up and turns off right, and then heads towards the Raven Haze, which goes up onto Egg Hill. And that's the best thing that I've missed about the 202, most of all. So as you know, I've missed the 202 so much, but as you know, it's one of my favourite routes that I've done. So anyway, just about to turn off onto the Balmoral Road. So then we're now on our way
then we have just now completed the Egg Hill Lane now. So we're on our way to Frankly, Holly Hill, and then after Holly Hill we're then going to head towards Rubery and then on to Cofton. And as you know, we are joined with the 61 service, which is the Birmingham to Frankly, and uses a fleet of Wright Volvo Eclipse Geminis, which are really nice buses, because as you know, first bus has Geminis. I've not yet been on the first Geminis. I've been on the green bus Geminis and also the National Express Geminis, and I will be doing a video about the Geminis very, very soon. And as you probably know, the 202 used to go from Bromsgrove to Merry Hill. And so anyway, here we are coming down towards the Frankly area now. Frankly, Holly Hill. And then after Frankly, Holly Hill, we're then going to turn off and then serve the Rubery area. And then after Rubery, we'll then go on to Cofton. And then after Cofton, we're then going to go over the Licky Hills and then into Bromsgrove. So here we are, nearly approaching, so over Frankly Holly Hill. So then that was Frankly Holly Hill right now, so we are soon going to be heading over to the Licky Hills. So the next port of first thing is going to be Rubery. And as you probably know, I've had an Optare before on the 202, but it was an older Optare. I've had 20840, which is the one that's now at Tibbydale Depot and works quite a few of the variety of routes, and of course 2734, which is the long wheel-based Optare, which does most of the kiddie town local services. Usually this Optare Solo SR can be found on the 192 occasionally, which is the Halesowen service from Kidderminster. So then here we are on our way to Rubery now, and as you probably know, this route goes around a lot of estates before going into Rubery, and then after Rubery the service continues up the Leach Green Line area, which is a tighter road, before coming out at Cofton, which is close to Longbridge. And we shall soon be arriving into Rubery anytime soon. And here we go, nearly arriving into the area. Rubery, almost. And so Rubery's not far away now. So we've done the Frankly area now. So Rubery will be nearly up ahead. And once we get to Rubery, the journey will then head on towards the nearby Cofton Hackett. So here we are, just over outside Rubery now, and as you can probably tell, there's actually red lights. You may confuse them as Virgin Trains, but however, Virgin Trains no longer exists. It's now part of Avanti West Coast, because as you know, Virgin used to operate on the West Coast and the East Coast main line, which used to go from London Euston to Glasgow Central. And of course the other train companies on the West Coast main line includes West Midlands Railway, London North Western Railway, Transport for Wales, and of course Arriva Cross Country. Arriva Cross Country used to be known as Virgin Cross Country, West Midlands Railway and London North Western Railway used to be known as London Midland, and before that Central Trains and Silverlink. And of course Transport for Wales used to be known as Arriva Trains Wales. So there has been variety of train companies on the West Coast Main Line. So as you probably know, the 202 is a bit similar with the 48 service, which is the West Bromwich to the QE Hospital that goes by Northfield. Now I will be doing that route very, very soon, so keep tuned for that. As because it's one route that I'm going to do, hopefully when this coronavirus pandemic is all dealt with, and so and all that, and should be doing more routes very soon, hopefully to go on the 48 route down to Northfield. And also got a big shout out to make to Jake as well, who enjoys watching my YouTube channel. Keep watching my awesome videos, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. So that's one big shout out to Jake. And I hope that you're enjoying it as well. And also a big and as you probably know, we're over in the Rubery area now, and as you know, the 144, which is the service from Birmingham to Worcester, comes through, branded as the Salt Road. And as you probably know, Adam King, if you know his YouTube channel, in capital letters, he's filmed the 144 route Birmingham to Worcester in 2019 in their Right Eclipse Urban branded B7s, which are green, because green's the Salt Road. And as you know, you get a lot of Salt Road buses in Worcester, and you even get to see them in Bromsgrove, because the 144 goes Birmingham, then goes down towards Selly Oak, Northfield, then after Northfield it then goes down to Longbridge, and then through Rubery, then over to Lydiate Ash, and then through Catsill, and then through Sidemore, well, most of the Sidemore area, and then into Bromsgrove, then through the Webs of Witchbold. However, the 144A goes into the grounds itself, and then goes to the Chateau at Impney, and then goes into Droitwich Spa. Then after Droitwich Spa, the service then terminates at Worcester Bus Station, which is the Crowngate Shopping Centre. Well, the Crowngate Bus Station, because the Crowngate Shopping Centre is right above the bus station. So that was my talk about the 144s. And so, as you know, Diamond actually followed most of the 144, and they actually did the 144 in the past as well. So anyway, just going through the housing estate area now, and we're over in Waisley Hills now. So we're now coming over Waisley Hills, which is just outside of Rubery, and then once we've gone through there, we'll then proceed we'll then proceed on towards the Lickey area and Cofton. So here we are, nearly coming into Rubery, which is just not far away. So here we are, we've just gone through Waisley Hills, so we're not far away from Rubery now, and we shall soon be getting into Cofton. And of course you've got, the 145 that actually goes through Cofton. It goes from Rubery Morrison Supermarket and Longbridge railway station, and goes on towards Cofton, then goes on to Bond Green, then after Bond Green it goes on towards Bromsgrove, then after Bromsgrove goes down to the train station in Bromsgrove, then goes through the Morrison's store in Bromsgrove, and then goes down through Avon-Croft, and then proceeds towards Webbs of Witchbold or Droitwich Spa. So anyway, here we are in Rubery now, and as you probably remembered, when the 44 took over the 202, it actually faced this direction going to Halesowen rather than facing the Halesowen direction for Bromsgrove. So as you know, we're facing the Halesowen direction of the 44, and the service going back to Halesowen faces the Bromsgrove direction. But however, it's gone back to the backwards and forwards now, so it's going the Halesowen version of the 44 towards Bromsgrove, towards Halesowen, and going towards Bromsgrove. It's going to Halesowen. And then going back to Halesowen, it's going the Bromsgrove way, because basically it follows the 144. So anyway, here we are in Rubery High Street, and then we're going to go up to Cofton, and then we're going to go over the Licky Hills and then into the town of Bromsgrove. So we won't be far away from Bromsgrove nearly, so not far away, so we shall soon be arriving into Bromsgrove town centre. So here we are in Rubery now. As you know, Rubery does have a few set of stores. There used to be a Tesco, it's now a frozen food company, and of course you've got farm foods as well, which you get to see in a variety of locations. Morrison's is further up from here, but however the 202 does not serve the Morrison's store, so the 44 which replaced the 202 has reverted back to the 202, back to the original route. So here we are, just about to turn off now up towards Cofton, and then after Cofton we're then going to head over Licky and then down into the town of Bromsgrove. So here we are on the Leach Green Line out, all the way towards Cofton, and as you probably might have noticed, the 145 bus stops are still in place, which is very unusual. And that really surprised me, to be honest. The 145 bus stop's still in place when you've got the 202 that's come back, because as you know, the 202 got suspended during the first coronavirus lockdown, and then the replacement was to see the 145 and the 145A to replace the sections around Frankley, but however Eggill Lane wasn't going to be served, and they took over most of the 202, but however the 202's reverted to its original route, and the same goes with, of course, the 145, because basically the 144 is the busiest route between Bromsgrove and Rubery, and it's the main route as well. So here we are, just approaching. So there's that very strange, the bus stop for the 145, so we shall soon be arriving at Cofton, almost, so we will be arriving at Cofton Hackett, and so here we go. Nearly coming to the end of the Leach Green Line, and then we're going to turn off to serve Cofton Hackett and just enjoy the video.
Distribution centre. connections. You get connections down to the train station, the railway, Circle the West Midlands Railway. You've got connections to Stourbridge, Melbourne, Hagley, Kidderminster, Greenwich, also to the hospital as well. Also got a hospital, you've got Worcester, Catshill, you've got Birmingham, which we just went through half through, and we've also got Longdrew, Strawberry Spa, Wednesday Spa, and so on, and even Morrison Shrewsbury. So here we are, just coming. So we're now approaching to Bromsgrove, where the journey will end, and I'll see you for another video, which will be the 242 and 228 we discovered. There will be a 142 video coming soon, but I'll let you know when the 142 video will be ready. The same will also go with the DRT, which I'm looking at doing, which starts up next week at the new Bromsgrove service. We're just now reaching the terminus in Bromsgrove town centre, and then after that finish off with the 42 to finish off, but however the 42 will not be included in this on the video on the YouTube channel today, but it will be soon. Since I've been here in Bromsgrove. Last time I was in Bromsgrove was during the pandemic. However, we are coming out of this terrible mess. So here we are, Bromsgrove. Now Bromsgrove is one popular town centre, surrounded with shops. There's a lot of independent shops to be seen, and there's even an Asda, an Aldi and a Waitrose supermarket within the town. They're just across the road from the town centre. And of course you've got connections to local estates like Catshill, Sidemore and even Chartford as well. However, we'll be heading back to... However, this service is going to go back to Halesowen, but however, I won't be heading back to Halesowen, I'll be going around Bromsgrove. So, what I now need to say, hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, shows, bus, train, plane, lift, adventures. then we are now travelling on the service to O2, going from Halesowen down to Bromsgrove in Worcestershire. So we are travelling on the next Central Buses Octo Metro City. This one is fleet numbered 30972, and these were built originally for the 125 from Stourbridge to Kidderminster and on to Bridge North. Now, I used to like these buses when they used to be on the 125 route, but however, the 125s now work by Rod Street lights, DFs, door forward, because due to the fact that needing to newer buses just to improve the service. So these are built now for the city routes, like the 145s that run through Bromsgrove into the South Birmingham region, of course Longbridge, and down towards Droitwich Spa, and also to Bedford as well, right centre. Because due to the fact they had Metro Cities on the route when it was operated by IGO, and IGO of course did the service just before they went into administration in 2019. Transferred over to Diamond Class, and they were allocated to the Kidderminster depot. Now, one of these Metro Cities was actually at the Perry-Bar depot, the Perry-Bar. So then we're just waiting at the roundabout. So, as you know, one of these Metro Cities was, of course, at the former Perry-Bar depot, which did like the 74s round to Walsall, Gillity Beach. Also on quite a few of the routes, even the X16 Birmingham up into Tamworth, which is a peak time service, but that service no longer exists. Well, it will no longer exist soon. So anyway, we're now climbing up the Mucklows Hill. So this is the first hill we're going on, Mucklow Hill. So here, of course, coming up is Wixies. That used to be Focus DIY, and of course WH Smith Do It All. So this route follows the X10 service just as far as Quinton, and of course the Nottingham service. The X10 goes to Birmingham from the Merry Hill Shopping Centre in Bournemouth Wood, while the 19 service goes to Newcastle and Dudley, and into works on the 18 service that comes from Merry Hill by Craigmore. So here we are, we're now at Mucklow Hill, so we're now by the B&Q store. So this is the B&Q, similar to the one at Kidderminster, but that one's a B&Q Extra. So we're just now climbing up the hill. So we're now climbing up those hill now. Solos. Now Kidderminster has a lot of Optare solos which I'll touch on in a minute. So here we are at the Lappel Junction. Turning left goes to Blackheath, and that's on the X8. Turning right goes with the 14, taking a long distance to Halesowen. We're going straight to go back through the X8 area. So at the top of Mucklow Hill now. So then we're just now the top of Quinton. So this is Quinton on the Halesowen Road, so as you know, and then of course got the bell, that's got the disabled alarm on. Now these Metro Cities, I think these have got Euro 6 specification, but I know these have also got a Cummins engine on. So these are fitted with Cummins engine because of the hills on the route. So then we are just now over Quinton, so over there, that is for the, that's over there, would have been the junction for the 54 into West Bromwich. That goes over to World's End. So we also got this, so we're going to go on the spines and just come off the ridgeway. So as you know, I'm a massive fan of the Optare buses at Kidderminster, so you've got 3 of these Optare Metro Cities, and then of course you've got the Optare Solos. So you've got 2734, which is a hybrid stagecoach solo. That was acquired with Thibodeau and then got transferred to Kidderminster for use on the service, but that is now seen on the town services. You've also got 20870 that does the Cookley, and that's an ex-Redditch vehicle. So you've got 20870, and that's an ex-stagecoach, and then it moved over to Diamond at Redditch, and then you've got 2052. So we're now coming across to the Harley Grange. So just ignore so we're now going along, so we are just now on Harley Grange now. This bus was going a bit jaunty, but however this is actually my first ride on these Optare Metro Cities with Diamond, of course, this year, 2022, I believe. Yes, I think this is actually my first appearance on the Metro City with Diamonds this year, because the last time I did it on the 7th, which is Sign Hill. The Cobham Arms. So we're next going to turn to the left at this junction. So we're now going to turn to the left. So we're now at Carter's Lane. It's a bit bouncy. This one was a bit bouncy. So we're now on Carter's Lane. So now, as far as Bartley Green, which will be nearby, will be competing with a 002 service, which is the Maryhill to Wheelie Castle through Halesowen. So there's the dual carriageway that goes into Halesowen from Birmingham. So we're now going to cross the M5, the motorway, the M5. Here's the M5. That goes on to the laser goes on to the M6, goes through Sandwell, Middlesbrough, then go up through Bilston, then through to Cannock, into Staffordshire, Stafford, then go up towards Keele, then go to Sandlash, then Knutsford, and then there's a junction, the M56, which then proceeds into Manchester. So then that was the junction there for the old 44 that used to go through Norfield down to Bromsgrove. FOB 7RLA with a right eclipse urban Corte, and that's working the 002 heading towards Merry Hill from Wheeling Castle, and that's run by the Tibberdale depot. The 202 used to run from Tibberdale, but this is now operated by the Kidderminster depot. And this route got suspended during COVID and was replaced by the 44, only lasting for a short time, and then reverted back to the 202 service. There's a bit of a bounce. So we are now in Bartley Green, Woodgate. So now at Bartley Green, Woodgate area now. So as you know, it's a bit bumpy over here. So I'm shouting out to Jake Florence and my other subscribers, Aaron, Lewis, Kimberley. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is an amazing video. I hope you enjoyed. Giving a shout out to quite a few numbers of subscribers. I'm so proud. Anyway, that's the kit. So this is Kitwell. Now. That is for the X21 and X22 terminus that come from Birmingham, which are run by the National Express West Midlands Birmingham Central Depot, and of course they work by powerful 100 MC Platinum buses. And they run from Birmingham Central. I think they're Birmingham Central or Yardley Wood. So here we go. Bye. Three on pylons. You see these over in the Worcester area. You see them over in the Worcester area. And also in Cannock. Well, heading down the A5 towards Telford. You see them in Wolverhampton coming in from the coming in from Kent Romford on the 15 and 16. 15 goes to Merry Hill and 16 to Stourbridge. Also you'll see that on the other side, which will be when we get to my favourite parts of the woods, and I'll tell you what it will be in a minute. It's one of the best parts of the time. So 202, X22. So we're now in Bartley Green, just by the Bartley Green Reservoir. Now sometimes this route has to make a diversion so it comes across the Scotland line. Sometimes it has to go across Churchill and then join up onto the Raven Hayes. So then, here we go, we are just now heading along. So, as you know, there's been temporary traffic lights. So, as you know, this was actually the first of the ex-central buses of the Metro Cities to be painted into the bright diamond livery. And then 30974, which is the sister, was then painted into blue, while 30972 was the last to be painted. So, we are just now going along. So we're going across the Balmoral. This is also seen on the 17 and the 226, which comes from Dudley. However, 226 goes to Merry Hill, 117 Stourbridge. So we're heading for my best podcast. So then, here we go, just drop the camera for a few minutes, seconds, there we go. So now going along. Just had a bit of a bang, so this means we're ready for proceeding towards my best part of the route, and you guess, yes, the Egg Hill Line. Well, going to Raven Hayes, then Egg Hill Line. So we'll be heading to the Egg Hill Line. Raven Hayes, then Egg Hill Line. So we're now up to the bottom of the hill, and and then we'll be climbing the Eagle Line. So it'll be time for a thrash. Yes, the thrash. We'll be getting ready to thrash up this hill. So here we are at the bottom of the hill, getting ready to proceed to thrash for 50 miles an hour. So, I'm not sure if the bus goes 50 miles an hour, but however it's calculated with the sign. So at first camper, however, it does reduce speed when you get to the bottom of this hill of this slope. So we're now climbing the Eagle Line, the steepest hill of all time. On the same speed what the 11s do now. The Merry Hills Warsaw through Dudley. That's a good route, the 11s. So there's Birmingham. I see Birmingham. So Birmingham's over there. So that's the 11. And that's Birmingham. By a custom operator 42 that goes over to West Hill, and so that goes to West Hill, the 42, and we got and then that goes further into Longbridge, which is also the home of the former Rover Car Factory Institute. So the time is now 1:54 in the afternoon. So we left Halesowen. So we left Halesowen just a few minutes late. Because it was due to leave at 12 past on the hour. So we will be seeing another bus that will be passing us shortly. There'll be another Octane Metro City. Yesterday there was an Octane Solo on this one, and that was a 20870 55 plates. So it's two Metro Cities that are operating the route today. So we'll be passing one some point around the Frankie, some part around Frankie. So here we are. is an old former 80 bus depot. So we're now going along with the Arden. So IGO is an operation down here for their 145 and of course the 19 service, and for all the routes that are on the South Birmingham region. So of course we've got the 61 that terminates here, that goes into Birmingham. That is also worked by them Gemini's bodied Volvo V70L double deckers, and they were. So them Gemini's were originally seen at Wolverhampton Depot for use on the number 1 from Dudley down to Tattenhall Wood. So once again, the Volvo V70L Gemini's were originally on the number 1 from Dudley down to Tattenhall Wood through essentially Wolverhampton, but they're now operated on behalf of now they're with Birmingham Central because they now use the E400H, which are also hybrids. Still got the same seats. Well, they were electric, but they've been converted into diesel, back to diesel, which is a shame, to be honest, because I would love to have done I think I did remember that was electric, but they were just very environmentally friendly at the time. Oh, and here's the other Optare Metro City on the 1 to Halesowen, 202, that's heading for Halesowen. So that one was 30974. To what the 44 used to do, because the 44 went through the Great Park, but it's so good to see the 202 going back through this area once again, because it's better with the 202, because the 44 actually competed with all the routes like the 39s down from World's End down to Longbridge, also the routes also some of the South Birmingham routes. I think the 48 from West Brom to Northfield. So we're now going across the Waisley. So you might know that the bus stop now around here is Worcestershire County Council. That's because we're within Worcestershire County Council, but we're actually still in part with Birmingham.
So then, we're now on the way into Rubery area, so we're on our way into Rubery, and then we're going to cross over to Cofton Hackett, and then we'll cross into Bromsgrove. So this is yet another good video that we've uploaded after the success of the number 8. The 241, which is the pilot video, that will not be uploaded until after the video, and also videoing the Johnson's XL bus IDL Enviro 200, which I'm going to touch on after this video. So it is going to be exciting. So the 241 video will follow after the Johnson's bus. If it's not uploaded on this date, the 18th, it will be uploaded tomorrow, which will be, of course, the 19th of August. So I just got... Sorry about my frog that's in my throat, because I had a frog in my throat earlier. So we're now going along, and we should be heading in towards Rubery. So we're on our way to Rubery now. So we're on our way to Rubery on the 202 service. So we've got the 202. Now, of course, I was wearing my waterproof jacket yet again, even though it wasn't raining. But however, rain did come along when we got to Bromsgrove. At least I had my waterproof jacket on. So I'm starting to fill some of my outfit. So I've got my waterproof jacket on. And as you probably know, this will be the last remaining video in the flesh. And just got to complete with the 241, which is now known as today's X8, towards Blackheath, and then the 14-bit towards Halesowen, and then we'll be having a lovely weekend, and then we're back out again next week for more exciting bus videos. We're in consultation at the moment with the routes like the 297 to Bridge North, but that's in the process at the moment. Won't be able to do it on certain days due to timekeeping. So I'm going to review that. And we've got the 580 up to Kimver. So the 580 up to Kimver is going to follow. So the 580 up to Kimver, that's going to be following up. So I'll have the 580 to Kimver, and then after the 580 to Kimver, we'll have the Kidderminster. Well, a few of the Kidderminster, and of course we're also in the process with the 296, which is the Worcester to Bewdley service. So we'll have the Bewdley 296. That will be after this video. So I just hope that you're all keeping yourselves well and looking after yourselves. So we are just now on the approach into Rubery. So we're coming into Rubery now on the service 202 from Halesowen to Bromsgrove. So anyway, as you know, we're now coming into Rubery High Street. Of course, it was probably once by the 144 Bromsgrove to Birmingham to Bromsgrove, and then on to Worcester through Droitwich Bar. But the 144 no longer exists. It's been withdrawn and replaced by the. It's been withdrawn and replaced. It's been withdrawn and replaced. The 144 has been withdrawn and replaced by the 144A to Longbridge, so it gives passengers connections into Birmingham from Longbridge by using the railway system. So here we are, we're now going through Rubery High Street. So here we are, this is Rubery High Street. So we pass the social club, Rubery Fish Bar. There's a good row of shops here. Of course, there's a Farm Foods, and of course there is Tesco, that used to be known as Jack's, which was a Tesco version of Aldi and Lidl. It's been reinstated recently as Tesco. Waiting for the traffic lights to change so I can carry on. So, as you know, this
service does not go into the Brewery Grand Park complex. So the only routes that come across that end is for the 19s and of course the 42. Still within transport, but within West Midlands, south of Birmingham for the final part. This part was Scotland Hackett. Scotland Hackett is going to be coming up shortly, so we'll get to Cofton, and then the service will then go. We'll then start to go onto the, and then this service will then go into Worcestershire. We're back. So we're now going to head to the Leach Green. So this is the Leach Green. So there's a lot of trees along this area. Going left goes out to Longbridge. So then going left goes down towards the Longbridge area. So we're going down to Longbridge. Just by, so now at Cofton Hackett, Redknot Lickey, Old Hare and Hounds. So welcome to Cofton Hackett as we are now coming from the West Midlands into Worcestershire. Now, of course, this was before Diamond went on to the 145 from the Kidderminster depot. This was the only route that was run by Kiddie that crossed the Birmingham boundary, because the rest was at Tibberdale and at Redditch, and also one journey being at and most journeys being at Tamworth. So Barnes Green, that was for the 182, 183 to Redditch. So then we're now heading upwards, so we're now going up Rose Hill. So we're now going up Rose Hill. then the M42 goes through to Hopwood and then goes further to so the M42 goes to Hopwood Park and then goes to Wiggle, Solihull, then does a turn off going to the M40, goes through Warwickshire, then joins the M34, the A54 goes to Oxford, Drayton, and then goes to Cheveley for the M4, and then goes on to the M3, and then the M27, the A51, the A44. There's a Greggs and a gym here as well. So there's a Greggs and a gym, of course we've got Aldi. So it's really interesting to see both Lidl and Aldi close to each other. So anyway, we're just now in traffic, so as you know there's roadworks, but roadworks cannot be, you can't trust roadworks because they've got to be done at certain times, so upgrades them to the right level. So we are now arrived on the final approach to the Bromsgrove bus station. The service is going to terminate and we will finish the journey on this service. And once again, I hope you enjoyed the 202 all the way from Halesowen, and I'll see you again sometime for more videos which will be here on this YouTube channel, Joe's Bush Train Climb Adventures. So we are now
Bromsgrove station. So that's it, the journey is now completed. Welcome to Bromsgrove, the terminus with the 202, and we are completing the journey. Thank you for watching. See you all soon for more exciting videos here on Joe's Bus Train Plane